on a future agenda for what's known as the Challenge Grant from Santa Clara County. It's grant funding that's available for modular units to be used for transitional housing on city-owned properties. There will be another round of Project HomeKey funding that can be used in conjunction with this grant. With the traditional shelter model phasing out for future developments, the modular transitional housing concept has full-time wraparound services for residents and provides needed privacy for families experiencing homelessness. With that, I'm happy to answer any clarifying questions.
Okay, do council members want to comment? To me, that is something that requires funding, and so I would not be supporting that. We've already been through our budget.
Mayor, if I can make just sort of clarify questions. When we say on city property, have you or anyone else sort of figure out where that would be exactly?
I'll defer that to the city administrator, who's been in conversations with Office of Supportive Housing, Destination Home, and the other partners, but I have not been a part of that.
Okay, I don't see anyone else up on the board, so that would just be a, oh, I'm sorry. What?
I'm sorry, Mayor, I wasn't sure. My question wasn't answered. I'm not sure.
Please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There are two particular properties that have been discussed, and I don't want anybody to make the assumption that these discussions are far down the line, but we do have the property behind the car boxing center, which is a city parking lot, which I think most of us would agree is fairly underutilized. That's one possible location due to its proximity to transit. And then another potential property is not city-owned, but is county-owned, but we have had discussions with the Office of Supportive Housing for 8th and Alexander. Really any property that is owned by the city, and the city does have quite a bit of property, we should look at what the best use of that property is, whether or not we retain it for housing or we get rid of it or what have you. So we have had discussions just on those particular properties.
And City Administrator, question for you. You mentioned the property on 7th, or excuse me, behind the boxing rink there. Can't recall what.
6th Street, 6th and Railroad.
Given, all the many new businesses that are going up, and obviously we're going to have a lot more coming in, I understand it's not utilized, and part of it is our fault too, because we don't promote it to our residents enough, or they don't feel safe parking there. I'm just concerned that if we consider that location, we're losing how many parking spots?
52, I think, right, Jimmy? 51 or 52.
So, I mean, it's quite a bit. I mean, I'm open to the 8th and Alexander, but if we're talking about that property there, I would have to vote against it.
We're actually not talking about any property. That's my future council initiated agenda. It's just for informational purposes.
No,
only.
I know.
We're not identifying the property.
Well,
so please don't vote based on it.
No, I understand that, but there has been discussions because what was just mentioned, 2 properties were identified, and what I'm sharing is that whatever this council decides, if it's in regards to that parking area, I'm going to vote against it. So, okay.
Okay, Council Member Armendariz.
I think that whether or not it would require funding, I know Zach is saying it's just an informational item, but I think given the state of our, the families in our community, the amount of increase in homelessness and the cost of living in this area, I think it definitely merits a discussion and our time to discuss it and receive the information. So I would be supporting it.
Thank you. All right, any others? Okay, so then this is, just go down. I'm not. I need to see hands. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so it looks like it's coming back as informational. It was 5-2 if you need to know that.
Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, I want to make sure that we're focused on what you would like me to bring back. But I believe the request was for the challenge grant and modular units on city-owned property. I know we ventured off a little bit into mentioning some other things, but I want to make sure that's where we landed.
So that's in addition to trying for safe parking, right? Because we're still looking for that.
The discussion of one topic does not eliminate the discussion of another.
Okay.
So
yeah.
We're always talking
So
about
we'll
anything.
hear both. Okay. All right. Now, is there any other future